4 games in a row of Teo
Alright,
freeing.
we got DRX on attack, we got GenG on defense, and
right now, but hey, if it
we have
works,
5 ghosts.
as he continues to see how he's mastered that Teo. Now, we're not seeing it with the breach.
I think GenG needs to get off to a good start. Are DRX
Astra,
gonna go
should be
middle
used for a
early
little bit of
because they're
info, a little bit of zone
honestly,
denial
it's looking
as well
like a
as
split.
clearance.
Yeah, we've seen how
We'll see.
oppressive it can be across the map, especially around the B site. But right now, DRX starting things out on the attacking side.
Got the cage deep,
Trying to make some
the
movements
Teo
down here.
damage.
Yeah, using that to break the
To make
vents
sure that
door
no
as
one's
well. So you have
shot.
it so it clears out the close corner on the entrance of a
You
site.
can kill a
breaks the
trip or
vents.
you can
Now you can get through Yeoman with a nice shot into flashback though. That's a player I wanted to keep our eyes on. But
Dude, they got
wait,
so much
as we
info.
do
The only
have
person they
3
don't
members of
know
DRX
about
standby
is the
on A
Teo.
site.
Oh, through the smoke, and then the fragment right down outside of A main really blocks things off. But look,
Okay,
hey,
that's a
wait
great
second,
trade,
Freak
and
will be
honestly,
able to
they
get that
got
shot
so
down
much
mid.
time. I
That's
say
the
trade.
Cypher gone.
Great
so
kill
DRX
back.
now do have
They
a
got
great choice. Do we want to
so
go back
much
to B?
time
The
that
Cypher
they
center
could
should
just
be
cut
gone
sound to
if
make
there
it
was
look like they're
anything at
going
all.
over towards
But right
B.
now, they're just going to focus. They're going to force GenG to default back towards mid. Try to get information. They're going to fake it out like they're
Yeah.
putting pressure on
Smoke
mid.
over towards
Free.
middle.
Try to find a timing. He does get taken down,
Okay,
that
but
should
these
be the
guys
signal.
cut sound,
DRX
so they
has
could be
to
over
go.
towards
Now
B
they've
right
lost
now.
control of that
So
middle of the map.
there is 3 people here, and Yeoman has a recon. As long as no one. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, as long as no one oversteps and they can kind of play off the recon and swing on it, they're gonna be fine. But they just go for a double swing.
So I want to talk about Yeoman just a bit because
Yeah, I said if they get off to a good start, they'll have a
Foxy9
pretty good
and
map,
DRX, the
and
coaching
it should be
staff, the
close.
history
So
of these 2 teams in Valorant,
this is a good
that's
start.
so interesting, and that's a very big focal point. But Yeoman had a rough ending to that best of 3, even though they
he
won
just
against RQ.
controlled middle,
I mean,
yeah.
just not able to put up the frags, not able to get those assists on board. But great to see him starting up. You see him getting fired up because last time he had his head in his hands, but now he's saying, "All right, we're in the game. Let's freaking go."
Yeah, just being able to find those shots down mid now, trying to do the same thing again with the salvos already through.
Okay,
DRX trying
it's a
to
rough
break
start.
past it. They
Karen
managed to get a
wanted to go
win with
aggro
one
on this
against
one.
Karen.
Nice spam through that smoke from DRX.
What gun do they?
Making sure
Dude, they
get
gave him a
whatever benefits they
Guardian?
can here in the second round. GenG, not too many buys on the board. You still have that Marshall. You have that Bulldog.
Could argue that they
That's
have a
really
better
gonna
buy
be
almost
about
now.
it.
Look at this
So you
buy.
see the silhouettes DRX. Looks like it's going to be a 5-4-man stack towards B. An all-out push.
Slowly building
Got
up
a
towards the win, at
Guardian.
least.
They
Maybe
got no
make a
armor,
win
so
as
obviously the
well.
Marshal can clean them up.
As the
But
sight lines all the way up from
we're
Nest.
playing retake on this site.
As we mentioned it, it's going to be Foxy9 holding a bit of that off angle up around stairs, has the camera to kind of watch out for things.
Very smart of Foxy9. He gives up on the cam.
Yeah, dude, they're in a good pause here.
The Tremors is
DRX.
still alive. The cam's still broken though, and here come the salvos once more, really making sure that Foxy9 is far away at range. They are safe onto the site. The plant will go down, so DRX already getting some benefits, but Texture
Still
will get a
though,
free
the
pick.
damage
Now
here
down
is
to
kind of
16 HP,
nice
but
shot.
that's another kill onto Mako. No smokes for DRX.
Yeah, and they
Still
haven't spotted
looking.
that many.
One
Joel at
more,
middle.
finds
Okay.
one. Munchkin still on the wraparound though. So DRX, I mean the round seems like it's long gone, but it's a matter of can you do more damage against the 2 remaining weapons of GenG.
Flash out recon at the same time. Hey, they did alright damage in the end. And they're gonna pick up all the guns though, so.
From your new pickups if you're GenG, get that confidence flowing again on this Korean squad.
Did the Guardian fall off
So
the
far,
map?
so good. Although it's that early contact that they already lost because
Yeah, it did,
of
right?
the information and the
Yeah, it
noise
did.
just being cut completely. They had a bit of an
Kinda worked out
educated
well.
guess. So Foxy9 was then able to work across the map with that camera, you know, not really staying on it too long, so it's still allowing those trips to go off. But ultimately,
that's the
because
kill.
he's
There goes the
been locked
Guardian.
up and also
It's
had
off the map
gathered
after that.
information for Texture. Texture was then able to swing out with that Marshall. I mean, no shields on the other side, right? So that Marshall was just able to wreak havoc all across.
Yeah, great peek up against the Eco. DRX, of course, that does mean now they do have full buys with the full armor and half armors across the board for GenG. They will try to match the firepower with 3 fans.
It's still a good bonus though. It is still a good bonus. And GenG at the beginning, they're trying to create a lot of pressure here. In the bonus, in the first buy round, right? They're trying to make sure they don't just spam A hits.
But both sides will be able to spot each other out completely.
And we saw how brutal A hit spams can be from Fnatic yesterday.
Right now, just somewhat lurking across the B site. Nothing found, and this is where DRX starts to creep up.
Guns falling out of the map? Nah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Put some pressure back on mid as
You want to be
well
able to get rid of them.
Starting to push out. They have an inkling that there's still some movement on that A side. So Texture getting
Texture.
curious.
1 minute mark starts going for the flank. This is where teams like to group up and decide to site hit. Right, 1 minute 50 seconds normally when you're going to see the call come in. Okay, well that...
And now Texture holds. He in fact closes in. 40 seconds, there could be a rotate. He hears footsteps. He's ready for it. But how many? It's just going to be
Can he get one more?
He wants to buy time. They want to go for the round win, not just damage. And Texture
He's out of there. It's incredible.
Yeah, shot
The
spotted.
3-pass and hold here. Karen still has Omen Flash.
Look at this huge high-low. Unfortunately, though, the shots don't quite land through.
There's the Omen Flash, though. It hit everyone. It's a great reposition from... No, it's not. Messed it up, did he not?
Then comes Texture alongside Foxy9 as the smoke starts to dissipate.
I get that they went for the
Texture holding close. He gets one,
I get that they went for the 3-pass and hold, but honestly, with the util they had, I think they probably should have just played heavier util.
Against his old home. Now stranded on the site. Does he have any idea about freeing? Wrapping all the way around. There's the
Oh, okay.
But Foxy9
Against his old team, 29 HP for Mako.
He's waiting for Mako, but it's the wrong side. Mako checks for it. Now they know about each other's location. Mako on a timing on the
Okay, nicely done. Nicely done from Mako.
that
But
he's
still,
the veteran
if
for
you're
a
GenG, you're kind of happy with the damage done. I feel like
This is why
they
I'm still on DRX.
should have felt like they should have won this round, to be honest.
But at the same time, it's just an impressive clutch that once again comes out from a player like Mako. One-on-one, right? And of course, with his position somewhat concealed, and also the spike working against Foxy9, he's able and afforded to go for that swing. But down to it, it really is the movements out from DRX. You know, they were able to kind of just march down A, despite GenG's high-low setup on the site.
Man, with that
Texture
round
with the
win,
outlaw.
DRX trying to get back into the game.
Flashback with the outlaw.
Obviously, a lot of damage
Okay, there's
taken.
2 people that can tank and 2 people that can tank, right? No, 1 person. Oh boy.
Entirely healthy on the other side as well. So Outlaws on both sides trying to make sure they get a snowball going. 3-man tag. Munchkin getting so much information from these 0 points. Foxy9 is in a dangerous position. He has to get kills to get out alive, and I mean, when
Does
he's
he get out of
on
here?
that side, he's gonna get kills. That's what we saw last week.
Damn, he gets out of there.
Able to go for that first swing.
Everyone can be one shot from this.
Knows exactly
Oh
where
boy.
Gambit's gonna dash
Yeah,
into.
Mako can
Second shot fired
tank
off
one
as
of
well.
these, but
Bane trying to work around the cages. Will be able to get down Foxy9 and try to close in the distance even further. The flash though will deny that opportunity, and Texture finds yet another
dude,
kill.
the
Classic,
outlaw
gets the shot into Mako.
absolutely
And
farmed
it's
them.
another 4K for
He
Texture
really,
himself.
really farmed them.
Some things ring true. A lot of their GenG fans seeing if
Forcing
we get
DRX
the 4K,
down to an
and then we
eco.
have a slow start, we know
9
GenG's
and 1.
winning 2-1. That's kind of been the story of this squad since last year, always taking the tougher road. And so far, it looks like it's a good start. But this shot, I mean, just knowing where exactly the jet lands, very patient from the sharpshooter of GenG.
Yeah, the second shot
Yeah,
is
even
also
got the leg shot at the end here as well.
First, and then swaps to the classic. And there it is, Mr. Texture 4K.
Well, now seeing if he can get maybe another 4K's got that blade in the pocket as well. Not going to land the first shot, but Munchkin already wide. Good for 2.
Sure, but they do
That's
get a
bad
gun
shutdown.
still, but
Only one stinger
they did
left
nice
on
damage.
Bane for DRX. The drone gets spotted. Yo, man, going to keep them at bay. You've got that Cypher util for GenG over by the B site. Now blades up.
Oh,
Texture
that was
gets
nice
shot
though.
down.
Mako
Entry
did a
into
lot
the
of
site
damage on
allowed.
this one.
Maybe, no, not quite guns picked up either. They don't quite have
Oh
the
my
range for
goodness.
it. Mako just kind of towards the
Ooh.
back
Dude,
line,
Mako is
providing that cover.
saving them.
Armageddon will get sent through, though.
Mako
Trying
is
to
a
break things
beast,
apart,
dude.
But DRX aren't in range. Carrying
Dude,
the
they
ball
got
to try to push out from the
eco'd, but
back,
they
but
keep
not
giving them
quite.
guns
It's
over
just
towards
Bane
A main,
with the
and then it
Phantom
just
picked up,
snowballs into a
taking
nightmare.
GenG
This is
down.
both
I mean, the
ecos where
setups
they've
for
like
Mako right
gone
there, letting
aggro
him
A
just
and
take
given
the
them a
angles that
gun.
he so chooses. And then
They
the
need to chill.
Armageddon, if they had just planted and maybe used Armageddon for post-plant, they might
Obviously,
have
shout
actually
out to
lost this
Mako.
round, giving space to allow GenG for the retake. But they're able to just hold close and continue to
But they're
pressure
doing it with the
GenG,
gun
saying,
that he
You
dropped.
know you want to stop us from the plant because we have all this util. And they, in fact, walk right into the trap. What a good weapon pickup as well from Bane. Getting that last kill. And already it's
Popping
neck and
knives
neck,
here.
back
It was
and
fine.
forth between
Maybe
the
the
two
updraft's
squads.
like a
Now
little bit
GenG
too obvious.
Out of creds onto their Sheriffs and a Guardian.
We'll see what the Guardian can do. It is on Texture after all. Close within range. Here's the stealth drone, but has to back up.
Yeah, what a
And that's
nightmare this
information
is.
enough
Forces
that
him
there
down
is
to an
quite a bit
eco.
towards the B site.
Double drone. It's the second one being used as well. It's a lot of information. All right, you know one's in the back of sight, but Texture uses that opportunity, baits him right back into watching.
Yeah,
one
and he's
part
got the
of
hero
site.
gun, so he sticks
There
around
comes
for a
the
bit.
smoke. Texture trying to line up against the ult orb. He heard it, but he's not going to quite land the shots just yet.
Still, though,
It gets a little bit weird because they obviously want this gun.
Committing towards the B site. So full rotation all across to A, where Munchkin is lying.
Munchkin is heavy committed. I don't know what util I missed over towards B, but the rotate's coming in, and Yeoman has a recon. We got a knife, we got nades, they got flash, they got literally everything, and the gun's gonna get here.
What GenG needs to win this by time to delay. DRX masking.
Yeoman's baiting for Munchkin.
Jump peek heard. Here come the stars. There are the salvos. It clears out backside, but are they ready for the close angle? He gets pinged in the last second.
He does get the nade off though.
Down, walking across the fragment. DRX does not care.
And that flash was incredible.
They've been held back, and now back of
Big
sight. Bane
Joe.
pushing through at the front, and it's just going to be Foxy9. No weapon in hand, just a sheriff.
Dude, I feel like Yeoman can use his recon. I feel like over towards A, they can rely on Yeoman's recon way more.
To let it be known. They'll hear that door break.
I really do.
Do have the Hunter's Fury, DRX.
So there's been like 2 rounds now where they either like heavy duel here, or I feel like the recon could have gone in. And I think they should just be putting more priority on it. I mean, you can get half in this. Recon didn't hit in the cage.
There's a chance.
Foxy9 tries to bait
Okay,
in, but it's
dude, they've been
a
giving
very
Foxy9
nice
some
wise
chances
win
to
from Bane.
put one over on his old team though.
On the kill.
Yeah. Because he collects on that kill, that's Neuro Theft for Flashback. Because Foxy9 dies, that's Neuro Theft for Foxy9 as well. So ult on both ends, but ultimately a huge round for DRX at the same time, just being able to break into the site this way. 3-3.
Dude, imagine a recon during that.
It's a good pattern so far for all the fans of both teams and all the fans in the studio today for this Korean Derby. Lots of votes on top of just the ciphers as well. The Hunter's Fury on both sides, and then you got no command for Munchkin. So there is a good opportunity for GenG to show us a strong retake if they can find the timing. But right now, it's still a 2-1-2 split.
Yeah, trying to play the information game a little bit. Do have texture on that op as well, though. So
DRX hate middle. The comp can't really go deep middle. This is what I was saying about yesterday as well. When you got the solo smokes, you can't really go middle unless you're heavy forcing it, and then it's like very obvious.
Trying to get ahead of it, but freeing reads it. They hear the footsteps as well. And Hyunmin just making sure he really creates space on top of Heaven. They saw the pings. He's spraying, is blind, but he'll hold true for now. He tries to go for the kill. Hyunmin may be overreaching just a bit, but you bought time for Flashback to wrap around. You know this Cosmic Divide is allowing for this lurk. DRX, if they can stay alive on the site. Mako, right now, up top on Raptors. Do they suspect that it's up top? Mako's just trying to stay alive. Everyone trying to distract him.
Mako might be in for a lot here.
Munchkin getting onto the site. Mako needs to get 1 kill, 2, and the spray down for 3.
Dude, he's been insane already though. How many rounds is he gonna win them?
Can you believe it? Mako hit himself in that smoke for the longest time.
Yeah, that was awesome from him.
Some further stars as well, but through all of that, I mean, GenG tried to check and clear him. They fired off some blind shots through the smoke, but they didn't hit. So they kind of just thought that he wasn't there at all. And down to it, Mako does what he does best again. Swings out of the smoke at the right opportune moment to take down all 4, collecting on those skulls. GenG just not
solid pass.
There were so many discussions about whether Mako could really, truly become the IGL that DRX needs. They even experimented with freeing in the offseason. But the way he's playing right now in kickoff, boy, has he matured into 2.0 as Mako continues to lead this team with the frags and the calls. Hyunmin now trying to find a long angle with that Outlaw. Mako still waiting for the push out of B. A lot of map control right now from DRX, just gauging where the util's flying out from, seeing when they can strike onto a site.
Who on pistol? GenG did.
Ready for a pop flash, but no reaction. Oh, Bane just gonna spam right back. They don't want to wait for that late push out. They'll make sure that there is no frags coming out from the GenG side.
This aggro A
sure not to give away too much, right?
does feel like they're not getting much for it.
Some of them even playing anti-flash behind some of the pillars.
Like sometimes it's nice because they get the drone out of them and stuff early, but
against Yeoman, so now resmoking A main sure just buys a little bit of time, but DRX has an opportunity to really blow through here.
Fragment has to be good, but does DRX just slowly walk into it? They're already ahead. They're past the Fragment. There's the ping on the back of sight. Karon, he's been spotted. Hyunmin's very sharp on the headshot.
Yeah, very nice. The sight hits good.
On the round, and that's just A site opened up again. And this
I think GenG might do a little bit of a timeout here, because I think that this A main stuff is getting them wrecked. Though I'm not sure they can hold sight.
And you force him to have to play the map, DRX is shutting him down.
That's what DRX gets to do.
How many did GenG
Finally
need?
getting a
Like
read
5
on it,
maybe?
being able to work around some of the smoke
2 more
timings, or even
is
some of the
doable
flashes
for
as
sure.
Munchkin tries
But
to
with
retrieve
winning
information
pistol
on the other end.
and going up
DRX
against an
then
eco at
plays
3-1,
patient.
like
DRX
you would want
then
him to get
waits
at
for the
least
right
6,
time
really.
to really push and barrel through those smokes where Foxy9 is not able to react. There are just too many overwhelming targets rushing through.
And another thing I want to note from that round is the Teo usage. I will be honest, watching how Freeing was playing in their first match, I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't quite at the level that I was hoping to see at kickoff with some of the top
DRX not
teams,
just
the
go
team
in
neutral, the combos, things like that.
ecos
However,
A
if you look at how
Byron's
he sets
B.
it up for himself and for the execute
That not just been every round so
they're
far.
very well aware of the fact that the timing's just a little bit delayed for Teo utility. So they always push right up into that smoke, up towards that line of scrimmage, so they can instantly flood the site when the util goes out. Once again, there it is. Yeah, come in now on top of the side.
Oh,
There's
that's
instant
nice,
kill. I mean,
though.
it's just
Holy.
utter chaos when the bombs
Yeah,
start falling
dude.
down.
They are getting
Tries to
so
get out
wrecked.
the missiles as well, but that gets him tacked down to 13 HP. Spotted by the other drone too, and now he's just kind of
I like this
stuck.
though, the damage at the
Has to
back.
go for the
You have
save.
someone
I
here
mean,
ready to
round
take the
just
jaws.
started.
They're forced out into the
execute just
open.
started, but DRX already has the round.
You know, a lot of people said, I mean,
Timeout?
Teo,
Yeah,
he
they
can
for sure
fill
need a
every role,
timeout.
right? He's got a drone,
I
he's
see
got a
Munchkin now talking
suppress,
a lot
and
though.
he's
Like
got
he's using
zone denial
this
as
time
well.
to
And
save
DRX
to
is
talk
sitting
a
here
lot.
thinking, well, if the drone's so good, why not use 2? We'll just send 2 drones. You shoot one down, we'll still tag you, we'll still push you out, and they get so much space on these attacks. Now just trying to hunt them down, deny any weapon saved over. Charon down to 13 HP. He should hear them coming. He spots one, and
No
that's
way.
going to be Charon down.
Didn't get any damage
Munchkin,
off.
the lone remaining member of GenG with a single lonely Vandal.
It's just Bane being clean too. I mean, he's been working alongside him. Sure, it was the final moments of the round, but still, that is 6-3. Once again, showing
Right, this is the timeout that we're talking about.
DRX's system.
They
Yes,
could
we
try and
might have
force
new
into it if they
players on
wanted.
But the way that they're playing, the way that they're executing, very much is
Dude, he's
influenced
dry
by
dashing up
Turney's
there
and his setups, just the
and
way
getting
that
kills.
they get into range and then set up for those executes with the utility, how they use that Teo utility, and it really just denies for a lot of GenG with how they're trying to hold to some of these setups. So timeout now being called, and I do wonder if GenG are gonna try to cook up some kind of a plan where they start to work their way across the map a little bit more, try to find some of these opening picks and really prevent DRX from setting up.
So the obvious thing they haven't tried is pushing out a B main. As dangerous as it is,
Astra
right,
stun.
you use a smoke to
Yeah,
cover
but dude, there's
heaven,
no
maybe
there's
create
no
that crossing
smoke
angle, but
there.
I just
There's a
don't
lot
see
of places
GenG
where
as the type
util
of team
doesn't
who's gonna
get.
take that risk. But maybe a little bit of earlier pressure onto mid, maybe a little bit more util on that side, because the A-main fights have not been working out because of how free the
You
salvos
say
are
GenG,
on
DRX,
that
and
Teo.
T1 are the
But
same
one thing else
power
I wanna
level?
note is this is a
It's
very
looking like
typical
it. There's a
timing
chance
a
for
GenG
DRX to be
timeout.
above
Only
them
3
all,
rounds
I
left in
think,
the half.
from
If we recuperate,
if
we
they can
figure
kind
out
of
the
make this
answer
one look
here 3
convincing.
rounds in a row, DRX has no
It's
chance
looked
to
good
answer
so
back.
far.
Then we flip the half, it's a 6-6 half, and it's back to square one.
I do think
So, given Solo
they
and HSK's
were gifted
record,
a couple of
I'm willing
rounds.
to hold faith.
Like
Of course,
this
the
one, for
weaponry,
sure.
The firepower not quite there for GenG to do anything crazy.
Yeah, it's all light shields. And, a guardian here, a sheriff there, still some automatic rifles.
Okay,
still
DRX on this one.
don't
Expecting
really fully
some
wanna
kind
count
of
them out, but
push.
you definitely do
Just
have
holding
little
a
bit more
default
faith
off
in
the
DRX
timeout.
at the current moment. 0 point dodged outside of A main as well. So a lot of information masked.
Yeah, trying to focus on that mid as well, trying to get rid of that tripwire. Not able to land the shots from Charon, but with 0 point not getting information, Munchkin wants to hold close. They want to make sure they recognize that DRX has been playing in the smokes, but it's a big one this time, and Youngman just
You're in
instantly gets
trouble,
to kill
mate.
Munchkin. You're trapped in the corner.
No way. Dude, some of the some of the
getting a
things
free
that this
kill
guy
on
is getting
Charon,
away
and
with
it's
is
just
nuts.
utter
And how
disaster
did
and chaos for
Freeing
GenG.
melt this guy
So
spawn with
unfortunate
his
for Charon as he
damage?
tried to come back in to rescue his fallen IGL.
Did he melt this tank all
But that's
damage with that?
2 players left once again for GenG, off to fend for themselves in the retake, trying to push through spawn now. And they're going to take just quite a bit of time to clear out every little nook and cranny while DRX
They might have been Astra
Yeah, like the
Astra
spider
suck
drone,
or
you might as well
stun.
just ping it as well. It's going to get shot down eventually. Hyunmin with
Maybe
low health,
there's
going to
some
be the
ult
first one to
damage they
peek
missed,
out,
I'm not
gets
sure.
a nice kill. That's a 3K. Wants the 4th, but it's just gonna buy time. DRX. Oh, they've shoved Foxy9
Dude,
all the way into a corner.
they look
It's a
strong on
4K
this
for
one.
Hyunmin as
I like this
well.
little change up with the
7-3
fake
in the attacking half,
Astra
and it doesn't look like
star.
DRX is going to stop.
The fake Astra
Yeah,
smoke.
GenG hasn't
I would love
found
to know how
the
the Rockets
answer.
got a
You know,
kill.
once
There had to
again,
be
they
some
try
kind of
to
Astra
hold
combo with it.
Close towards Amy. They're not looking for the
Dude, this is
overtake
nuts that he went for this, by the way.
Look at this from Hyunmin.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
he waits for
Oh,
the
okay, it
beat,
is.
and
It's
when he knows
Teo
exactly
damaged it a little bit, and then the
just when
Rocket
he's
finished
about
him
to
off.
run out of space, updrafts goes for the assassination.
The Teo value? Oh, the Teo value is great at the moment.
Keep on hitting that A site. They've only hit B a couple times when they knew they had the advantage and they were able to shut it
It's,
down. So GenG just not willing.
But it's
to
just
go
a
for
lot of
high-risk
like
play.
forcing them out
Not
into the
willing to go for
open.
a stack right now.
Like
All
it's
rifles at least on the
they're
board,
making
but
sure
that
they always
Fury in no man's
capitalize
hands
off of it,
just
basically.
hasn't been able to see the light of day.
Like they're getting so much space for it, or
Still just
forcing
trying to
someone into
retrieve
an area, and then
information
they've
outside
always
of
got
Amy,
someone to
but that
capitalize
blaze
off that.
should very well confirm it. 0 point sent through. Just
Yeah,
defend
that's what they
Hyunmin
needed
for
to
a
be
couple of
doing more.
seconds.
Just like
Fragment to try to
saving
delay
the
as much
knife
as
and hitting
possible
it
as
when the
well.
drone comes in.
Yeah, so if the
So they've
salvos
been
come
trying to
out,
like dual
fragment
aim aim to
out,
get the
and
drone
then
out of them,
Karen
but
has to
they
get
can literally
whoever's
just
been hiding
treat
in
it
the
like people
smokes.
do on
GenG
Ascent.
seem to have understood that because of Munchkin trying to get into the smoke in that previous round. But Hyunmin, he's going for it again. There's the updraft. He knows he's there. He's gonna be able to take Karen down with the left foot. There's the reset.
Dude,
on the
they
blade.
are
Sight now
spamming
starting to
sight
get taken
hits
over.
though.
Backside, Hyunmin finds Munchkin. Not
Okay.
able to get the kill. Backside GenG, but DRX, they've
Dude,
already spread
DRX
out like
are
a
just
fan. They've
dueling
dominated
them.
the entire area.
Completely swarmed A, and that's the spike down. Once again, it's a 2-on-4 retake. We've seen this like 2 or 3 rounds now from GenG.
I mean,
it's just
this is
unfavorable positions
this is
to
one of
be
the
in,
things that we're talking about on
trying
this
to
map,
retake
where
possibly heaven, but that's
teams
when
don't even need
Flashback
to
is marking the other
consider
end
doing
of
anything
fence.
over towards middle. They just sight
I mean,
hit.
it's already too late at this point, but you
And
gotta
then
wonder, is
you
really
don't have
the
many
answer
places
to
to
just
hide,
fight
so
them
the sight
right
hit's
at
just
the
incredibly
entrance, right?
strong.
Or just in a main, just never give up on that fight, because you let them creep up. I mean, the salvos cover
And
so
then
much space, and
you
then
gotta
Hyunmin
try
can either
retake,
come
but the
in through
retake's pretty
entrance,
hard
or
as
he can
well.
come around with the updraft.
That's gotta save
he has a
dash.
free choice because there's no one really to trade whoever's waiting at the entrance of A site for GenG. But
So it's
whatever the
Icebox
answer
all
is,
over
like you
again?
said,
Yeah.
GenG
Yeah,
has
pretty
not
much.
figured it out, and they'll only have one more chance to answer back after this round.
It's just so crazy to me too that like DRX has different ways or different varieties to just break into this A side, right? Hyunmin with that updraft play. This time
It
with
would
the
be fun
Blade
to
Storm supported by his
it would be
teammates of
fun
the
to
Spider
have like a
Drone, the
heat map
salvos, the
of
stun,
this
truly
game
to actually break down
and the
Karen. That's
Fnatic game
kind of
on
the thing that
attack,
threw it all
and
off.
see like
Although Hyunmin went a little bit
if there's any
aggressively
pressure
further back into the
or
site,
anything
and
on
he
middle,
died.
because
His teammates
there's
were
just
right there
not.
to find those trades, and that's
Like, there'll be
ultimately
like a
what gives
cage
DRX their
in the middle,
strength, and
that's
a lot
it
of these
for
side
these,
executes.
and Astro will maybe do a smoke
Second
when
time out.
Fnatic are
At
playing
this
it.
point, yeah, at the last round of the half, Solo and HSK, I just said I have full faith in you. This is crazy. Okay, I mean, full faith that they think if we get 4, we can win this map.
Well, if they do the comeback
right? You're
anyway,
looking at the composition.
DRX have
It's
to use
very aggressive
timeouts,
from the
so
other side. It's got the double drones. If we can draw those
it's
out,
fine. They just
we can
realized
go
that they
for
need to get
this.
4.
With our defaults on the attacking side, well, we'll see if it works out. This is a absolute gamble.
Yeah, because it's their like final timeout. You're using it on the last round of the first half, where you're
Supposed to
not
spend
gonna find
more
that
time
much
in
value going into the
Spawn
second
than
half
the
then.
whole
So
of Fnatic spent in
trying to
middle.
do as
That
much
is very
as
true.
possible now, truly trying to vie for that 4-point round. So we've seen that the answer is not to hold aggressively outside of A main, but what could it
I mean,
be
they're just
now
gonna go
that they're
aggro on
looking
B
at?
side here,
Maybe
probably.
pushing down B, or is it really mid?
See, it does look like Yeoman also needed a little bit of assistance to sort out something on the tech side, maybe just needing a double check. So hopefully we'll be able to get right into the last round of the half.
Is this a lim
as
match?
quickly
No, this is
as
upper bracket.
possible. Showing the 2 DRX coaches as well. It was nice to see, talking about the coach walkouts. It's not just the head coaches, right? But even though the assistant coaches, they all know each other. They've all been on the same team before in other games as well in the past. So
What's the general consensus on Teo? It's a
well
really
known
strong
to have the
agent,
takes.
but
Yeah, it does
probably for the
look
first
like
2
we're
weeks there
gonna
wasn't
need
much
a
good
little bit of time
usage.
for Yeoman to get situated
And now
once
teams are getting a little bit better.
You know what was lovely
Like,
was
understanding
during the off-season, one of the tournaments where
how to use Teo.
these teams were playing against each
But that
other.
kinda happens with every
Instead
agent.
of doing like some
You, like,
kinda
Especially when it's like a agent that most people think are broken.
They actually did a full
Like if you look at the first month of Chamber, no one used it good. You look at the first month of Astra, maybe only Zoms used it good.
Rookies as well, especially
like there's not
DRX side.
it takes people a while to get like proper understanding of just watching other people and then slowly getting their own maps.
Looking a bit concerned, and everyone just holding by. Of course, you can't.
We're watching EMEA and Americas today. Yes, yeah, we are watching both. Zoms is in Sentinel Zoms. Dude, Zoms had Astra down fast. Way faster than everyone else.
You got Munchkin with the confidence. You got Karon, the super rookie, coming in 2024. Lots of pride, and quite frankly, again, like I said in the middle of the game, I don't think GenG fans are too worried. They're pretty used to giving up that first map, going into overtime on map 3, you know, taking the long route as they have. You think back to last year, they played the absolute most rounds.
Fade? No, Fade was used awfully at the start.
Going through the gauntlet the whole
time. It took people 4 months to realize that the tether and does damage. And the ult.
If it does go to it as well, it is Haven, you know, the one where they just went overtime against RQ too, so
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about that.
Like no one's good with agents when they first come out. I'm telling you.
There in the past, but we'll see if it even gets there. The way DRX is looking right now, obviously, kind of looking ahead during this tech pause. After this Abyss, we will be going to GenG's pick of Bind, which was a little bit surprising, I think, for a lot of people. Obviously, in the future, in the near future, Bind
Clove, yeah, Clove is kind of plug and play though. I give you that. But Clove isn't like super OP. It's just in
from what we're seeing, DRX
ranked.
Is definitely playing Teo. I mean, they're going to play Teo on every map, it seems like. They're just going to make sure they find a way to make it work, whether it's with Breach, whether it's with Silva. It doesn't matter. It's double drone. Sometimes it's the stun combos. But we'll see. And some fans cheering for Foxy9. The meme about Foxy9 absorbing everyone he comes across.
It checked me. I'm just wearing liquid jumper. Which I got on. Ooh, I got my. Okay. As much as I hate this game.
As well, all in jest. But we'll see if he can succeed so far.
I got my Overwatch. My Overwatch trackies on. From when I did World Cup there. As much as I hate the game.
Those opportunities, and that's kind of what we're seeing. You know, down to the one-on-one against
They're comfy
Mako
though. I'll give them that.
And speaking of which, Mako again has been giving us these moments with that 4K from earlier on before. So as we head back into the map, you know,
I didn't get that. I used to observe them for Overwatch
right now, just a quick
before I realized they were all morons.
Refresher, GenG have yet to solve the solution, and this is when DRX kind of steps up closer towards B.
Okay, big timeout.
It is going to be the fast push out though from GenG, right? They clear out A main. They were looking for a pinch onto A main, so just fighting in main wasn't the answer. Let's try to surround him, but nobody there. DRX, a hard read that it's going to be a push out from somewhere. They chose to stack on B. And now they're going to choose to wait because, okay, we've given up a lot of space. We don't know if GenG's pushed out elsewhere. You still have over a minute. DRX starting to re-clear parts of the map.
Okay, that's a heavy rotate. That is a heavy rotate. We got 5 people in this box. And if they don't commit over towards this site, they're absolutely wrecked. And GenG must be like, well, we need to get info. Astra ult goes in, we've got 4 people in front of it. Knife, they think it's a fake. This is going to get so weird. Yeah, it's going to get so weird. They did the knife, and then it's just like, well, no one's here, but they're actually just far back. Oh my goodness, they got wrecked, dudes. They got so wrecked.
A terrible assumption from the GenG side. One like we've never seen before from the likes of Munchkin. The 0 point tags no one, and they just assume it's a full fake. So they just don't take into account that they could be 2 steps behind. Wow, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a blunder like this, a miscall like this from GenG. I mean, that's devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the timeout, they were just like, they're just sight hitting. Like, we can just over-rotate here. And this is like the first time where DRX literally actually just didn't full commit.
I mean, at the same time, despite maybe the slight
and then they kind of faked it to make sure that the Cypher could get a lot of space.
So ready, especially with that little bit of a fake cosmic divide.
Why did they need to push?
Set up for that trap to
they had.
But that's the point, right?
If this is the map,
had the initiative, so they're still willing to say,
this is the only info they had on the map. The rest of this was a question mark, and so they had to do something because they were so committed. And then if they try and go back over towards the other site, like they're it's going to take them 17 seconds running normally with a knife out, but obviously they've got to clear everywhere because it's all question marks, so it would take them about 25 seconds to clear everything. And then they've got to get over towards the site and defuse somehow. They had to get info.
And you just missed the distance. They had no way
And then they thought it was a fake
because
the knife didn't hit.
And
then they just sent it.
Sometimes that's what pressure and cortisol can do to you. Now, wondering how GenG's going to feel going into this second half without any timeouts left in the bank. 9-3 as we head on in. GenG on the attack.
And probably not a good time to mention the GenG won a pistol here, but we're going to do it. It's 1-0. We did say GenG needs to win double pistols to make this one close, so at least I wasn't talking absolute rubbish.
Try to clear the smoke, but GenG wise to it. Slowly inching forward. Nice flash drive. It's going to be an instant dash in. Bane, you are trapped. He barely gets around, and it's a nice ping for flashback texture. Meanwhile, clearing out the back of sight.
It's looking like a double pistol.
Yeah, GenG still able to fight
the good news is they got dash flash, so they can retake.
Now marking heaven is
sorry, dash smoke.
To look for a bit of an angle. The rest
because it's impossible to get through spawn, but when you can do the little smoke and then dash into it, it's doable.
Yeah, no, Freeing did get the tag onto Foxy9, but obviously it's only a singular pulse, so Foxy9 could have moved. He's trying to keep a little bit of distance from the wall on purpose.
Yeah, it should be smoke dash we see here. And they get close to go into the smoke because they know that the smoke dash is coming.
He knows exactly what's going to happen, and Mako now trapped at the back
well,
of sight. GenG strikes
it's doable.
back at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, still good for the pistol at least. I mean, they're able to kind of just break into the
2-0
side,
pistols.
flood everything through, and find those angles and kills.
Well, GenG, both pistols now in favor. And if that's the case, you surely hope they can at least try to make a comeback of some sorts. But this time, it's just a good read across the board.
Dude, I'd be so fine if they just scrapped this map and never brought it back.
Clearing the early smoke. They're still holding that back sight. And Texture trying to get that energy back up. A little bit of anger mixed in, it sounds like, but he's at the top
they're
of the
allowed
board
one
for
death.
now, leading with that Phantom and 14 kills.
And tied up is Bane, who was the one who kind of, the first one to sort of fall towards the A side in the previous round. This time, though, full classics on the side of DRX, just trying to keep themselves elevated, throwing off the crosshair placement. GenG.
I think Abyss or Breeze, what's worse? I think it's, in my opinion, the worst three. It's like Abyss, Icebox, then Breeze. That's where I sit. But I know there's a lot of Breeze haters. But I think those two, I think at least Breeze has a bit more depth.
Go off the map, to go to the spike, anything like that. But they are starting to crowd around, so they do want to provide some delay, a little bit of difficulty, a speed bump perhaps to GenG. 4-man buy on that side. It's a nice ping. Bane does get spotted. Gonna have to get out. Salvo's gonna delay the plant. And now 4 members already here prepared for DRX with classics.
Really close and personal, but still, they are classics. So for now, GenG will be
It's so hard to retake this.
Closer towards spawn.
It's going to be incredibly hard for them to retake. Like, I'm not even sure they can retake A. Because they have no flash here. And then if the only backup is the dash, and we know that they're already going to sit in the dash, in the smoke where we're dashing, I'm not sure they can retake A, which means they have to fight site heavy on A.
This A site take, I mean, DRX has kept it a little bit on the weaker end, and GenG has abused it to the fullest. I mean, they take control of crossfires and backside. They're watching.
Why is Abyss bad? You're just too limited in what you can do on defense. Like, you're so limited. What, am I meant to fight aggro A where I have no crossfire because this box is spammable? And then I'm out in the open where you can have a recon behind or anything. You can't get much for going aggro A. Middle is the biggest commitment ever. Wait, dude, he's flying around, bro. The trip for the updraft was sick, though. Nice flash, and Bane's just absolutely sent it with the damage behind to make sure that they can't. She scaled over towards site. This was good from DRX, so this was cool.
Remaining from GenG, try to come back into the site. Gotta watch for heaven, but there it is. Foxy9 gets the first, gets the next as well. That's 3 kills already. Bane right out from below.
No, Foxy9, you had it. You had it.
Munchkin left all
it's a very doable 1v2.
Damage done against DRX's buy round, but Munchkin.
The overheat, not even the overheat. Like, his play was good. He just missed the shot.
There's something that Munchkin always tells his team, especially when they're able to get
just
something
a whiff,
like the
that's
plant
it.
spike, and they're starting to hold that post plant. He tells him, "I'll clutch it. Do what you gotta do. You know, just go out confidently, do as planned, and just enjoy the game because I'll clutch it when needed." And these are the times when he can prove how confident he is. DRX
Oh, he might
on the full wraparound
get
launch.
so
Very
close
creepy
that he
board,
hears
so he's
them.
wary of a potential flank, but you're
Or
exposed
he's
to
going to
two
stick in the
different
open and
angles
get
right now.
absolutely wrecked.
See if he reads the timing.
It's a Guardian too, though.
Well,
Creeping up. Oh, well, he's just going to get spotted right away, Bane, holding that wide angle. Suspense not needed.
yeah.
DRX
I mean, shout out to them
will
for
be
walking
able
so
to
early.
secure this round with 2 rifles left over, full armor on both.
GenG should be happy with their damage done. This was nice over towards A though. Yeah, GenG tried to spam A hits. We got the double trip, especially the trip with the updraft. We got the damage from Teo to stop them from scaling in, and then we had the reveal as well at the same time. Like the util here was lovely.
Is that the stealth drone's been being sent out of this window, which means you can jump, get a little distance, get that height, and try to cover most of the site. However, the cyber cage is just tall enough that he didn't get the ping onto Foxy 9 and ends up losing Mako for it. So that's something that DRX will also have to adjust in the future. Looking like a push out from DRX, trying to fight him at their own game, but they will just yield after trading util for util.
Especially with that smoke in their way, so trying to fend off, but oh, Texture spotted up by the top of his ponytail.
It's a nice reply in middle.
Yeah, so you still have that Omen, you still have that controller, GenG. They'll be able to mask some of their position, but without Texture, you're gonna have to take things slow, step by step, and that
Mako, yeah, Mako's incredible.
Reposition and re-clear mid.
That's why they're sitting comfortably.
One
right
of the
now.
most consistent
still
smokers.
Watching for that pivot around mid. He's got all his util down B long, so if GenG does head there, he's ready for it. GenG instead tries to avoid a lot of those traps and
okay, they actually go for a mid plane. The
The
good news for
oh, he reads it.
Ooh,
Waits
okay.
for that tag to come in, and Foxy 9 shut down. Now
Okay,
only
kill
3
trip over
members, no
towards the side. We got the
command
KO
used up,
all
but
once they
DRX,
see the
have numbers
camera,
advantage.
knowing
They
that
can
the
hold
Cypher is
until
here.
after the plant goes down.
They're gonna have a plum, but everyone's playing on site on this one.
GenG very much so in the game. Karen fending them off with a flash. The spike goes down.
Big Jill.
Unfortunately,
Nicely
the
done from
util
Karen.
expires.
Does Yeoman
Karen
need to do this?
through
I'm
the
not
smoke
sure, but
will
he
be able
might be
to
good
get
for
that
him.
flashback as it
Hey, Jill, no.
expires as well. And the shock dart to try to hold them off. Bane trying to set a bit of a flank, but still continuing to watch it is
Dude,
Munchkin.
Karen,
Unfortunately,
what
goes
the
down
hell?
to him. Down to just Karen alongside Yeoman. Up on line for the ace, and he's looking for it. Has the tag on towards Bane as well. Karen looking for the timing to swing. The recon goes through, and there it is.
What a
Karen
round, bro.
with the final headshot for the ace
What
to
a
keep
round.
GenG in the game.
Well, as long as it's not Texture, GenG fans
Yeah, he
will
had
be
some
okay
nice
with
shots
it.
on this as
Texture,
well.
the
Should be a good
record not so
replay.
great when he actually does get an ace, but Karen, it's all right. He'll be able to secure it. The team setting up for it as well, and it starts with Karen sharp shooting in mid. I love Hyunmin's decision. He waits just to see if there is anything he can work off of, and as soon as he hears the voice lines come through, peeks out, gets a nice kill. But at the end of the day,
aim's looking
Karen
crispy.
positioning himself on rafters. Starts with one of the rookies again on GenG
Force them
side.
down to an
This
eco.
was
They've
just
had
not Karen, a rookie, but you know, one of the younger
both
members.
starts into the half
We'll see
3-1,
if that's
right?
enough for GenG to get the momentum.
Yeah, looking for it at least, or trying to work off of it. 0 point into aiming.
Actually, that's a
does
line.
load out a couple
That
of
is a line.
players, so respecting
Oh, no, that's
DRX's
right.
positioning
is
and
right.
utility right now. The drone suggests that it's a bit of a re-clear, so they might be able to take a little bit of that space, but also still being cautious across the other parts of the map as well.
What do they get out money-wise?
GenG
Okay,
just using
nothing
that
really.
firepower advantage to their best of their ability, trying to push DRX back one by one.
GenG on this one as well, trying to, because they've only got the one smoke, trying to create pressure like they can go middle to make their side hits a little bit less obvious. And they're doing it against an eco because the comp's not very good against this. So I think this is nice. You're trying to show them that you can go middle, make sure they're scared of it. Does get a little bit scary though. Again, it's not the best comp for it. Yeah, this is why you don't go middle with this comp.
And Freeing gets 2 on the site, only 1 member left alive. Munchkin, you've got the spike, you gotta run, you can't just wait for the
Yeah,
weapons.
and
You
they're
have
gonna
to give
pick up
them
guns
30
as
seconds
well.
on the board.
30
Let's
seconds,
see.
you can get the spike down, but
Yeah, because of the no vision blocks, like it's so hard for this comp to go middle. You've got to use your smokes here to actually like get to the top of middle, so that when you go into one of these choke points, you don't have any smoke. You go into like a 3-way choke point, or even just on site, like 1-way choke point here again, 3-way choke point. Like the one smoke literally cannot go middle. Like, and I think the teams at the moment don't really realize that too much. I still think the idea from GenG is so fine. Like they're trying to be like, we can go middle, but you kind of see why this comp can't go middle. Big flash. Okay, very nice for Munchkin. Saves them on this. But if anything, if I'm DRX, I'm like, well, they're never coming middle again. We can just stack 2-3 on science.
And that does for sure keep GenG in the game, but you still got to keep in mind that despite that being a close moment for Munchkin, that was a round that should have been a lot cleaner for GenG, considering their weaponry. DRX was able to wrap back around behind them inside of B-Link.
Why would they contact middle? Because they're trying to prove that they can go middle. And it's easier to do that against ecos than it is full guns. It just nearly backfired heavily. And it kind of did still backfire, but...
And it has to come through with a Red Bull clutch from the GenG IGL. And finally, that calls for a timeout.
And a full one setup with the Lurker go middle work? Yes, for sure. But the Lurker's got a late play. You still get pretty good info when you're rotating out, right?
Supposed to win on paper. Now just at 10-7
but that's it. It's like it's only late. Like no one's committing past that little box at middle for ages. Really. Like until the spike's down, in my opinion. Because the chance of you getting timed is just so high.
To regroup with their players. See a lot of
yeah, for sure, Hypnotic.
Trying to lock back in. Charon starts things off for the team. Now Munchkin, the nice clutch as well. See if that's enough. GenG, have they downloaded their opponents as they often do towards the end of each map?
Russia fight, of course.
DRX has Termi now really figured it out. Bane leading at 20 kills and 9 deaths, by the way. It's an incredible performance so far.
Deploying drone.
Earlier on, Bane was feeling a lot of that pressure.
DRX are about to get all of their ults online though. If they lose this, they got to eco. We see a lot of light armors, but no outlaws to punish it. Going towards middle. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure DRX need to be doing like a double middle here. They gotta be feeling confident that no one's going middle for the rest of this. Apart from like what someone said in chat with a 4-1 late lag.
Trusting in the talented rookie of DRX to hold things down and free nearby. He does have the Armageddon, so we'll see if that's part of the use for delaying the site hit. But
Human's gotta do a lot. He has an Astra smoke. Oh, I was gonna say he has an Astra star for to play around. Do the time on this flash is nice. We really going for the ult on this one? We ready to fast flood?
Uses it to push them out into the danger zone, and he's trying to peek out for a kill. He's just waiting for them to come closer. Waiting in the smoke.
Not sure about that one.
Everybody from DRX has arrived. It's a 4-on-5. Mako sets up a star, and that's the timing for Free to go out. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Yeoman good for 2. Texture now still holding onto the rafters, and suddenly it's just Bane alone.
No one ready to fast flood with it. Just send the ult.
Bane, he'll still rack
2 people in
more,
position.
The round long gone.
The other 2 still rotating.
So, despite the utility from the Teo, I mean,
yeah, they can definitely hunt if they want.
Right, to really flush them out
Their money's still not great, GenG. Like, it's okay, but it's not great. They don't have to hunt that heavy.
The site, but I think one key utility was Munchkin sending in a 0 point that actually collected onto several players, which then denied them, you know, a little bit more utility as they went in for the fight. So GenG were just able to work off fundamentals and angles being held. So that's what gave them the advantage, just being able to gun them down as they tried to work off of the Armageddon. Unfortunately,
like midday as well.
Yeah, I mean, that suppression as well, delaying so much. You had the Hunter's Fury too. There could have been some more combos maybe to clear out the close angles, but it just doesn't happen in time.
Do you believe in the comeback? I mean, they're on for it.
Set up at those close angles.
You can see a lot of those like one-on-one individual peaks or attempts at trades. And that really allows for GenG to possibly turn things around, given DRX's
and they did use one of the ults.
just a variety pack with a couple specters.
Yeah,
One
DRX
Vandal on
probably
Hyunmin.
starting to get a little bit worried.
Nice 0 point, getting some information.
Timeout?
On
They used the timeout earlier.
Denying DRX any information on that side of the map.
They used the timeout after the
So
eco
GenG
round.
just saying, okay, you
where they
don't
went
have
mid.
information on main. You know, we've already pushed you back. We don't see any util. Where else can you push out from? They're watching for a push out from B. They're watching for a push out from mid. Hyunmin does get spotted. Lets him know that he has a Vandal in hand.
Just creating a little bit of that pressure, showing them more variety in their game plans as well. Still though, that Marshall a little bit pesky from Mako.
Now, Mako was spotted. Just trying to make it look like he might have
Oh,
cross,
boy.
and it's going to be a crossfire. Bane, good for it, trying to hold on, but Mako's
Oh,
already been taken
boy.
out, but it's a nice
Yeah, and they
trade
try
from
and
the
go
other
middle
side
again against
of
the
mid.
eco,
As freeing
and
it, Hyunmin
that's a
come
lot
to
of
the
guns
rescue.
down, and they need a hero to
Now
help
just
them
two
out again.
members left on GenG, 0 point to clear close. Nobody tagged, so Munchkin trying to push through with that null command. Wants to get more space, spots one. And here comes Undersea. He wants to get ahead of it, but he's been tagged.
Very
and
nice
taken
from Bane on
down.
this.
Fragment
Got a
does not
1v4.
get launched. Yeoman
Nope,
cannot
not
plant,
today. Very nice for
and
DRX. They get a
will recover
lot
up
of
to
gun
11.
upgrades as well.
And that's rifles converted and picked up as well for
And
DRX. I mean, talk about
every
a
time
swing round
GenG
for
go over
economy.
towards middle,
No
looks like they're
command
going to lose the
just
rounds.
expired as that Hunter's Fury tagged on towards Munchkin as well. So 11-8 with a score like this, DRX just set themselves up for success. Just being able to keep themselves controlled around mid and vents. They set everything up. I mean, it was so intentional to have Mako up top mid, and also the other sheriffs up around in close range.
Well, GenG, they tried to lay a trap and it doesn't quite work out, but this time Bladestorm for texture. Again, as we saw DRX use as well, you got the blades. You always got to watch out for the wraparound onto A site. And so
Okay,
look
back to the site
at
hits. We've got
Flashback's
double trip
position.
here, so
It's once again,
that might
just
get
give them
caught.
the site. We can go for the retake.
The same one they had
Every
earlier.
all shut
This time he
down thanks to
delayed
the
his
0 points. It's an
updraft.
easy
That was
entry
kinda
for
nice.
the Jet.
Oh.
Texture holding close, but he
Oi,
gets
that's a
tagged.
big
Right as he
recon.
tries to wrap around and escape, 3 members tagged again. From
Oh
here.
my god,
So
it's just
much
non-stop
information. It's
reveals.
Euro theft, just showing everybody's position.
Recon
The
and,
spike cannot be planted safely.
Teo
And Hyunmin
drone.
has arrived.
Holy.
Sprays on for 2 headshots, and Mako
That was
will
kind
wrap
of nice
things
though.
up
This
from
late
that
recon
point.
when they pushed back towards site was pretty sick.
Info and kills
I like that.
galore for DRX. Everything all set up for it. I mean, just like you mentioned,
okay,
already
for
intentional
sure
with the
DRX just
positioning
looked
from
better on this
Flashback
map,
all
no
towards
doubt
the back
about
of
it.
the site, but I think one of the key pieces of utility as well was the Teo salvos. Texture went so far in, his teammates were stalled behind
Nilzinho,
because
hello
of
mate,
those
how we doing?
missiles landing through at their feet. They couldn't follow in along with him. Had they have done that, maybe the round would have been different, but unfortunate for them. And also the Neuro Theft alongside the drone scan as well. That was a free kill for freeing as he tagged down a player behind the boxes. Next round coming through now. And what could
Don't know
be
the
the
games today?
last,
For
a
sure,
GenG
for sure.
half by, looking
We got
to
good
break
games
through the
today.
inside again.
Foxy 9, yeah, he's got to run. He's been tagged again, and we just saw what DRX can do with those tags.
It's happened again, man. Every time Texture sends it in, he gets wrecked.
Bane once again holding close, but he's got backup in the form
Oh,
of
and they
Free.
got a cancel, and they got
Pushing
no
GenG back out.
duelist.
That calls for Hyunmin to retreat as well.
It's going to
Just
be
keep
interesting
info
how they want to
on
handle
mid
this.
As GenG now has to work the clock.
Drone avoided. They have those rifles, so still a little bit lethal. But look at how mid is being marked down by Hyunmin.
Yeah,
He's
Texture's
gonna
been
spot out any
so
potential
owned by the
rotations. Finds Foxy
Cypher
9 and
util.
calls it out,
That's
but
a
Foxy 9
great
with the
shot.
wide swing on the
That
Guardian.
creates so much
Yeah, the
pressure.
OG DRX
So
rookie
with that
X's
as well,
right
as long
back.
as they just wait
Takes
like
out
10
Hyunmin.
seconds
That
before
means
showing
DRX
anything,
now
there's going to be good amount of
lacking
pressure.
information, has
And
to
these two are
group
going to
up
have to go
somewhere.
aggro
And on the map, it's going to be mid.
or gamble.
GenG tries to read into this, says we're going to stack with numbers towards that A site. Start to push through. Bane, he's been spotted, he's been tagged, he's been
I feel like
paranoid.
there's,
He has to
if
escape.
you did
He
a
has to regroup
direct
with his team.
comparison, by the way,
Managed to do so,
between
but-
Bane's
Foxy 9
util
presses the
and
issue.
Yeoman's
Free uses
util on
the gap to
defense,
abuse it, taking
like
down
Bane's
the spike
util is
planter.
literally about
Munchkin
20
collects
times better.
and tries to get into a safer spot. Mako working alongside Freeing, marking the other end, but Yeoman right underneath Freeing, unfortunately not quite noted, and that's going to be the first one. Now looking for the next. Yeoman gets into a closer range. Mako still looking for some possible angles, but right
Okay,
underneath
very
once
nice. We'll calm
again
this one
drags
down.
him
Still
down to the
doable.
ground.
12-9, 3 chances left for DRX to close things out here on their map pick of Abyss. As everybody continues to rack up quite a few more kills, but man, these trips, just every couple rounds, Flashback sets up that
Lost
little
around with a
jump
shield.
rope
I mean, it's a
trampoline.
50-50 duel, and you lock
cannot
them
get
all
into
over
the
towards
site.
site. So,
Speedily
not the
denying a
worst
lot
thing
of
to get
so much value
info
found
over
with
towards
these
mid there at all.
setups.
With a map that's so long rotate-wise, and the fact that you have no flashes to retake, like taking this mid-info, it's not bad. Just the fact he lost the duel, that's it.
Right now, aggressively in, taking that fight against Hyunmin.
Yeah, both teams thinking the same thing of trying to fill that smoke, and Charon wins out this time, getting a little bit of revenge compared to the very beginning of this map. Meanwhile, GenG trying to set up for a little working on B side as well. Like you mentioned, they haven't quite explored that too much coming into the second half. See if that pressure can maybe draw out a lot of forces away from that A side of DRX.
Possibly. Drone picked up though. I mean, Altor
Still got drone Sova
that as well. Just holding outside of B. Nothing so far.
I have the
Yeah,
spike.
so door break just making it sound like you are looking to focus onto mid. See if that draws them back into that A site. Bane waiting to launch that recon in case there's a hit.
What are we doing? Just
Now, the DRX is feeling the pressure.
two
They're
pass
saying,
and
okay, well,
fake,
they have
but
to
this
start
drone's
showing
gonna
hand a
see
little bit.
them.
Stealth drone to see if this is a fake or
Yeah,
not.
spots two.
He has sight of two right at
Now
the end,
what?
actually pings them both. So that's actually going to work out. But GenG says, let's use this against them. Now they know that there were two people here. It's the KO and the Omen. So that's going to keep
Dude,
them
this
right up
skill
on the A
trip.
site, and they quickly rotate for a B hit.
Where they can overwhelm with numbers against the two players from DRX just trying to hold off the site as much as possible. Thankfully for them though, Flashback has all his utility
I mean,
on
they
the
get
B
the
side,
plant
but
no matter
right now
what.
it's being
They all have
dealt
to
with.
they all have to play on
Cages
site
up.
because it's
Flashback
Astral.
tries to
No
work around it,
Astral
but
anymore.
Texture gets ahead of it, takes down Mako. Flashback in for the trade and then repositions around stairs.
Yeah, Munchkin
Well, you
kind
know
of
that no
tagged
one's
there
close
by
if they
the
didn't get a kill from
tripwire,
that.
and he can't get out in time. Flashback will get that kill. Now a 3v3.
Oh, boy.
Foxy9, you are stuck. You are stunned. He can't
No
win the
way
fight.
they lost
Green
this.
using Teo's util to the max. He's got
Are we just out in the
hands ready.
open
The
taking a jewel
Armageddon
from
coming
heaven?
through,
Like, you're getting
forcing them to come
traded.
to fight. Karen gets one, and
Holy,
Yeoman,
that
he
was
needed to hit
atrocious.
both, but it's just
That
too
was
far.
atrocious.
Hollow, and
Okay,
DRX
nicely done from
will
DRX.
close out map one. They're picking
GenG
up a
double
miss at
pistol, make this one look
13-9.
a little bit closer than it actually
You can
was.
still see it in the final round. The amount of value that freeing Tejo brings. The Armageddon